Hey, what's up? Today I'm building this beauty, the brand new P-8 Poseidon from Academy. Unlike most other military aircraft, this one feels kinda familiar. We've all probably flown in something like this. It's based on the 737 after all. Let's get into it. The kit is really well done. The box art catches the eye right away and there are two camouflage options shown on the side. The sprues are clean and sharply molded. Panel lines are consistent throughout and don't fade or disappear anywhere. No sink marks to be found either. Perfect. The only aftermarket part I added was a set of resin wheels from Reskit. They're on a completely different level when it comes to detail. Even the decals deserve price. Thin carrier film, sharp printing and vibrant colors. No complaints at all. What's great is that most of the attachment points are placed in a way they don't affect the surface details, so I don't have to worry about messing anything up with my clumsy hands. I'm starting the build with the cockpit. It's heavily simplified, but that's not really a problem. In the end, almost none of it will be visible anyway. On the other hand, the bomb bay is very nicely detailed. The landing gear legs are constructed of several parts. And this is where the first modification comes in. The resin wheels require a different mounting setup. A piece of wire reinforces the whole gear assembly and also serves as an axle for the wheels. While we are on the topic of wheels, the difference between the kit wheels and the aftermarket ones is night and day. Moving on to the engines, some of the parts have visible steps that need to go. The exhaust section also deserves attention. The inside of the intake has visible seams that need filling and sanding. Instead of doing through all that work, I'll try smoothing them out with thin glue. For deeper gaps though, I do need to use some filler. The excess comes off easily with isopropyl alcohol. I sprayed the area behind the windows with black surfacer. I don't want any of the grey plastic showing through. In the cockpit, I don't spend too much time, just painting the essentials. Before applying the wash, I add a bit of thinner first. It helps the wash flow better and makes cleanup easier afterward. A gloss primer under the metallic parts helps boost the shine. Time to close up the fuselage. A drop of thin cement locks the side windows in place. The cockpit, front gear bay and bomb bay all fit without any issues. Oh man, I just noticed. I forgot to add nose weight. No big deal though, luckily there's a huge opening where I can still get something in. I had these two nuts laying around, so they'll do the trick. The kit doesn't come with masks, so let's make our own. I place a piece of Tamiya tape over the window and press it down firmly to catch the shape. A fresh hobby knife blade is key here, just cut along the edge of the frame and peel away the excess. And voila, custom mask done. In this small scale, every imperfect seam stands out. Just to be safe, I added a layer of primer over the joints. It flows into the gaps and helps fill them in. I'm honestly a bit surprised that such gaps showed up here, but hey, that's what filler is for. Up close, there's an odd rough texture on the surface. It's all over the model and it has to go. This panel is slightly misaligned, so let's fix it. All that sanding did mess up some of the panel lines, but restoring them only takes a moment. The landing gear base can be closed up using the parts meant for retracted gear. We won't need them anyway, and the fit is excellent. I always recommend cleaning the model before painting. It helps avoid any nasty surprises later on. First, I apply a primer coat. It helps reveal any surface flaws and creates a solid base for the next layers of paint. Here's what the surface looks like after sanding. There's always something that shows up. So I'll go ahead and spray another layer. I managed to lose the mounting points for the weapon pylons, but it's no big deal. I'll quickly replace them with a small piece of plastic. Now we are getting into the main color. I went through tons of reference photos and decided not to do any color modulation. The surface of the real aircraft is almost perfectly uniform, no visible fading or variation. In this scale, I think modulation would do more harm than good. While the model is drying, I'm moving on to the engines. Masking the leading edges took up a good amount of tape. When spraying metallics, I use a second airbrush. Those tiny shiny particles are tough to clean out completely and they can show up later when you are spraying a different paint. A fine brush and steady hand are perfect for painting those tiny details. A gloss coat locks in all the previous work and preps the surface for decals. Decal application went smoothly as butter. They reacted well to the setting solutions, didn't tear and settled nicely over the surface. Still, I went ahead and cut along the panel lines. Just don't forget to use a fresh blade for that. Another layer of gloss coat to seal everything in. The decals are thin, but there's still a slight edge that needs to be dealt with. In this scale, it would stand out way too much if left as they are. And another coat of gloss to smooth everything out again. Looking at the reference photos, the panel lines are barely visible. I could just leave them as they are, but I decided to unify them with a grey wash. The gloss coat makes it much easier to apply and especially to wipe off the excess. On a few selected panels I went a bit deeper with a dark wash, again based directly on the photos of the real aircraft. The area around the windshield and the aerial refueling port is matte. It helps prevent glare for both the boom operator and the crew. These aircraft are relatively clean, but photos do show some fluid leaks around movable panels like control surfaces, the landing gear area and so on. I'm keeping the effect subtle, I don't want to overdo it. Alright, time to start final assembly. I'm gradually attaching all the sub-assemblies. And the cherry on top, the static dischargers. Removing the mask means the build is done. What else is there to say? First off, thanks for watching. I haven't built a 1/44 scale model in years, so it's great to be back at it here. Drop a comment and let me know what you think of the build. For me it's a super relaxing kit, highly recommended. Huge thanks to my Patreon supporters as well, you make these videos possible. If you haven't checked it out yet, give it a look. There's a tons of extra content over there. Now I'm heading back to the diorama to work on the trees. It's gonna be a wild ride. See you in the next one.